Jammu and Kashmir, scrapping of Article 370 and Article 35A. Let's understand about its historical background as well as geographical background, as well as let's understand about its political background. See, we will have a very detailed analysis, that is, we will analyze both the sides of the coin so that you can understand your own perspective regarding the matter. Now, coming on, it was in a parliament session. Union Home Minister Mr. Amit Shah places 2 resolutions and 2 bills on the floor of the parliament, stating that the Jammu and Kashmir henceforth going to lose its special status. Article 370, it's going to be scrapped. It's going to be divided into 2 union territories. Yes, it was an historic moment. And before understanding about the current happenings regarding Jammu and Kashmir, let me brush through our basics, which is very important. And if you are a senior candidate, you can watch the next few minutes of the video at 2x speed. Now, coming on with the basics. First of all, you should understand what is the difference between the motions and resolution. What is a motion? See, motion is nothing but an opinion of the House. For example, you are the MP from Kerala. You want to discuss about the recent flood, and you want to debate on the government's efforts in harvesting the rainwater and several flood measures, everything. You want to discuss this matter in a parliament. How shall you do that? It's very simple. Like, see, you want to have some motion, some papers, what you're going to present it, and you need to follow some procedure. There is a procedure. After that, you'll get the permission from the presiding officer. For example, if it is Lok Sabha Speaker and if it is Rajya Sabha Chairman, so then you will be allowed to present on your matter. Then there will be a discussion. That's the procedure. Let me tell it very simple. Motion is nothing but, see, if no matter in the House can initiate without passing a motion, that is, no debate or no discussion on a general public importance can go on in the parliamentary session without passing a motion. So why motion? Just to get the opinion of the House, so we can get to know what is the stand of the House with respect to the particular matter. Now, coming to resolution. What is a resolution? See, when you get the opinion of the House, and this opinion will be converted into some practicality, that is, some measures taken. So it will be a firm determination to do something. So resolution is nothing but the resolve of the House. What the House intends to do, what it's actually going to do, that is all about the resolution. So simply, motion is just we are discussing, we are debating, we are deliberating on a matter to arrive at some opinion. So when you pass a motion, you will get the opinion of the House, and this opinion, when put into practicality, that is, when put into action, it is a resolution. This is the crux about each of motion as well as the resolution. Let's not discuss much of types of motion because it will consume much of our time. Let's quickly go through resolution. Why resolution? Because Mr. Amit Shah presented the 2 resolutions in front of the parliament. So let's have a understand regarding the various resolutions. One is government resolution, another is private member resolution, and the third one is statutory resolution. Let me brief out very clearly. First of all, who is a private member? For example, if I am an MP from Tamil Nadu, I am just entering the parliament. I am not belong to the ruling party, so I will not be given chance. Most probably I will not be given chance to become a minister. In that case, I am an MP but not a minister, and in that way I am called as a private member. So who is a private member? Private member is a MP but not a minister. Done. Very simple, right? So again, there are 2 category of MPs in a Lok Sabha or in a Rajya Sabha. Those are, one is private member, another is a ministers. That's it. So it was in 2017 prelims paper, there was some option which was to confuse, like private member, elected, nominated. Everybody is a private member. So whether you are a nominated or whether you are a elected, if you are not a minister, you are a private member. Keep these things very clear, and we will also see about that prelims question later on in this lecture itself. Okay, now coming on to the 3 types as I mentioned. So government resolution is nothing but a resolution passed by a minister. If I am a minister. If I pass a resolution, it becomes a government resolution. Come on, if I am a private member, if I pass a resolution, it's going to be a private resolution. Both the things are done. Now, you might think, like, if a minister passes a resolution, it will be binding upon the government. But the thing is, actually not. Let me take you to some example. It was 2011. Mr. Anna Hazare and Mr. Arvind Kejriwal was on a hunger strike. Why? Because they are demanding a strong Lokpal bill. So they was on a hunger strike, and because of this there was a heavy pressure mounting upon the Congress government. So what happens? Succumb to the pressure. Congress says, our request Anna Hazare to give up on the hunger strike, and we will definitely come with the Lokpal bill. What's Lokpal bill? To prevent corruption, just like that. Okay. So now, but Anna Hazare, okay, thinks like, okay, but he is not ready to give up only on the mere statement of the government. So he is demanding for a government resolution. So he is saying that come with a government resolution stating that you will come with a strong Lokpal bill. It was Mr. Pranab Mukherjee. At that time, he was a minister in 2011, wherein he presents the thing like government resolution. He presents a resolution since he is a minister and it is a Congress ruling time at that point. Okay, that time. Okay, so Mr. Pranab Mukherjee is presenting a resolution on behalf of a government that the government hereby says and declares that it's going to come up with a strong Lokpal bill. Yes, it was a government resolution. It becomes the sense of the house as well. But though it is a government resolution, it is not binding on the government. So obviously the Congress did not come with that strong Lokpal bill. Okay, even the situation continues till today. Okay, now coming to this one, so you can understand that government resolution is not binding upon the government. Private member resolution, obviously it is also not going to bind upon the government because it is private member. See, ministers itself is not binding. How come the private members will be binding? So both are not binding upon government. I guess you are clear with it. Now coming to the statutory resolution. The two things you should remember. If you read the statement just like that, statutory resolution, so you might think that minister presents it. No. In this case, statutory resolution can be presented by both MP as well as MP in the sense private member as well as some minister. So both can present a statutory resolution. Is it binding upon a government? Yes, it is binding upon the government. A very, very potential question for your prelims. So it is binding upon government. Now, binding upon the government, let me tell you what it is actually. Statutory resolution is nothing but a resolution which is based on the certain provisions of a constitution or the provisions of an act of a parliament. That is, just a minute. See, in pursuance of either constitutional provision or act of parliament, there was any resolution, then in pursuance of anything of this, if there was a resolution, it becomes a statutory resolution. Then if they have to follow the procedure properly and the house and the parliament is in a compulsory situation to make it into a reality, that is the resolution is all about. Now I just made you very clear with respect to what is government resolution, what is private member resolution, and what is statutory resolution. And statutory resolution is very important because it was statutory resolution that was introduced by the Union Home Minister. So it was as per the provision of a constitution. So it is binding upon the government to do something, that is to resolve the thing, to take the firm determination to do and get it into practicality. Done. Let me erase everything. Now coming to bills. Simply, let me, long story short, let me tell you, bill is nothing but a proposals, are full of proposals. I am intending to do this, that, everything. Okay, it's a bill, and that bill will be initiated by a cabinet. Obviously, it will be a cabinet or council of ministers. So the bill will be initiated or will be prepared, and it will be sent to the parliament. Why? To get the approval. parliament represents mini India, right? Because parliaments are full of representatives of the people, so it is the will of the people. So they are going to they need to get the permission from the parliament, from both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Then it will be sent to the president, and president will give his assent. Then this particular bill will become an act, and the act will be notified in a government gazette. Then it will come into a practicality or reality, or it will come into effect. That's it. So this is all about a bill, a transition from bill to act. Now this is also clear. Now coming on with the thing what is happening, that is on current affairs. Union Home Minister came with two resolutions. What is the resolution is all about? One is with respect to Article 370 Clause 1, using that provision. Another is Article 370 Clause 3. What is Article 370? What is Article Clause 1? What is Article Clause 3? Let us discuss everything about this in detail later on in our section itself. Now I will just tell you what's happening. Now using the first one, there was a first resolution. The resolution is trying to devolve or trying to give effect of all the Indian constitutional provisions to Jammu and Kashmir. Now it's fully integrating Jammu and Kashmir as the part of India. Full integration is happening. That is the first resolution, and it is also superseding, or it is, what can I say, it's replacing the presidential order 1954. So it was the first resolution. By first resolution, Union Home Minister is trying to give up the presidential order 2019, which is going to replace 1954, and it's going to give all Indian constitutional provisions applicable to Jammu and Kashmir. Done, everything is done, and it's going to what can I say, that is a full integration is going to be made possible. Now there was a second resolution. What is the second resolution? There's going to be a president public notification. Thereby it's going to make Article 370 itself inoperative. How these two resolutions are brought about? Using Article 370 itself. Where is Article 370? It was in the Indian Constitution. So it is a statutory resolution. It is following the constitutional provision Article 370. Using that, first it declared all the provisions of the Constitution of India applicable to Jammu and Kashmir. Then it made Article 370 itself inoperative as per the provision of Article 370 Clause 3. Done. So this was the two resolution. And what about the bills? He introduced two bills. One is for Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Bill. Another is for the Jammu and Kashmir Reservation Bill. Let me come to the reorganization bill later. Let me first brief you about the reservation bill. Since our Indian constitution is not applicable to Jammu and Kashmir, certain reservational provisions which are applicable for SC/ST are not applicable in Jammu and Kashmir. So it was the government tried to incorporate the reservation so that the SCs and STs will also get benefited in the Jammu and Kashmir. This is all about that. Done. Coming to the reorganization, again I have to brush through some basics. Let me tell you with the articles itself. Coming to the Article 2 and Article 3. See, first of all, let me tell you what is the difference between Article 2 and Article 3. Very simple, in a very simple way. See, Article 2, Article 3. Article 2 will try to bring up a new state, or it will try to establish the new state from a non-existing state. That is, it was not a part of Indian territory. Such state can be given a status of a new state using Article 2. Then what is Article 3? Article 3 comes with the formation of new state or union territory from the existing state. let me give examples so that you can understand very clear. Now coming to Article 2. Just a minute, there was some problem. Okay. 2, 3. Take for example, it was 1975. It was in 1975 or 70. Yeah, it is 1975. I'm just clear about it. Okay. Now it was Sikkim, which was integrated into India as an associate state. What is this associate state? To brief you about it, the economic integration will be there, political representation of Sikkim will be there in the Indian Parliament, and moreover the defense, communication and external affairs will also be taken care. A special type of innovation, that is, it's not like any other state, it's an associate state at that point in time. How they brought about this? For that you should understand Article 2. See, what does Article 2 reads? Parliament may by law admit into the union or establish new states on terms and conditions as it thinks fit. This is the Article 2. So by Article 2, if tomorrow Parliament thinks, Parliament can come up with a law, by that it can form or admit a new state on terms and conditions it thinks fit. That is, it has the absolute power. So it is enjoying the absolute power to frame its own terms and conditions, and it can come up with the innovation also, so that it can admit a territory which is not a part of the Indian territory as a new state. So it was Sikkim. The Sikkim, when it was in 1950s or 40s, where the Sikkim monarch Chogyal came up with an agreement, just like the Jammu and Kashmir, that we will be giving you only the 3 subjects. One is defense, another is external affairs, another is the communication. Other than that, we will take care of everything. Then there was some movement going on in the Sikkim itself. Thereby, it was the will of the people who wants to integrate themselves with India, but on some changes. Like they want the economic integration, they want the political integration, but they will take care of their internal political matters with themselves. So it was in 1975 there was an amendment, okay, which made possible of that the Sikkim will be associate state. Again, this is done, right? Okay, just a minute. This was the state. Then it was again a protest was happening, and it was a long story. Then finally they scrapped the amendment also, and they made the Sikkim as a full-fledged state of India itself. That is, the full integration of Sikkim was made possible. So, but what I am trying to say is, if Parliament thinks that this is the term, okay, this is the condition, okay, so based on this I am giving the status of a new state to any territory, that is possible. That's what I am trying to figure it out. Okay, now coming to Article 3. Let's take the example of Andhra Pradesh. Yes, you are right. Okay, so it was in 2014. Telangana was separated or bifurcated from Andhra Pradesh. The 2 states born, that is Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. How it is made possible? That is because of Article 3. See, it was a long pending demand of the people that they need the Telangana as a new state of their own. So using Article 3, who has the power? Parliament has the power to come up with a law, so that they can bifurcate or they can form or do anything, and they can come up with a new state and union territory. That's it. This is the thing you should understand. And let me also answer the most googled question, like any normal state can be converted into a can a normal state be bifurcated into 2 separate states? Yes, let me answer that. As per the constitution, yes, it is possible, but in practicality it won't happen. Let me explain you much more detail. For example, consider Andhra Pradesh example itself. It was in 2014. Due to there was a full-fledged protest. Succumb to the pressure, the government gave a final call that they will split or bifurcate Andhra Pradesh into Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. But it didn't happen with the power of the parliament. It happened because of the will of the people. See, we are living in a democracy. There was a long pending demand of the people of Telangana that they were suppressed. So they need a new state. That's why government, using the power under Article 3, parliament gave a direction that our law that it will be bifurcated. Now let's take the example of Jammu and Kashmir. It was a historic moment where Union Home Minister said Jammu and Kashmir will be split and it will be downgraded to a union territory status. See, it may not happen without a situation prevailing over there. See, it was a terror attack. It was the, what can I say, it was the problem, okay, that was plaguing the Jammu and Kashmir development. Citing this reason, the parliament used Article 3, or else it won't be possible. It was 70 years. The problem didn't solve. The Kashmiris are not feeling much integrated with India. That's why it made possible that they are using Article 3. Even in the Prime Minister's speech, he made it very clear that if the situation returns back to normal or it restores to the normal situation, state would be given back to Jammu and Kashmir. So that's the thing. So don't again Google this like whether it is possible or not. See, if at all a normal state want to bifurcate, there should be the demand from the people. Then only parliament will do that. If, for example, as you imagines, if tomorrow parliament thinks to split everything, no, there is a Supreme Court which will come into the picture. Then Supreme Court will say federal character is the basic structure of our Indian constitution, and it will make the presidential order or the parliament order or the government order as a null and void. It will make it. So that's the thing. I made it clear, I guess. Now, so again I made everything. See, when you read this also, they are saying the same. Parliament may by law can form a new state by separating anything, or they can do anything, right? They can increase, diminish, alter the boundaries and alter the names as well. Yes, it was like, for example, Madras was renamed as Tamil Nadu, Uttaranchal was renamed as Uttarakhand, and also the good example is Mysore was renamed into Karnataka. All this can happen. That everything requires the parliamentary law. Now, alter the boundaries, that is this particular Hyderabad state will be given to the Telangana, and you shall have a boundary with respect with outside of Hyderabad. All this can happen, and increase and decrease the area, that is bifurcation. They can merge also the two states into one state. Everything can happen. Okay, done. Now let me explain you the procedure, which is also very important. Just a minute. How the Article 3 has to be invoked. See, first of all, it was a bill. As I said, who will create the bill? It is going to be the cabinet, that is Council of Ministers, the executives. They are going to create the bill. They are going to give the proposals, that is a full of proposal. Now, this has to be given to the president first of all. Before anybody, it has to seek the permission of the president. Why? It is the procedure. So the previous recommendation of a president is required in these cases. Now done. This is also done. So president will give up so the bill will be passed on to the president. What president has to do? President has to convey the matter to the concerned state legislature. So the concerned state legislature will take up hand over the matter. Now what the state legislature will do? They will table this matter on their legislature. Now there will be a full-fledged discussion, debate and deliberation. Everybody will, some may tell about the nitty-gritties happening, everything. There will be a full-fledged debate. Okay, so for example, let's take Andhra Pradesh itself. If it is a bill, the bill is regarding the bifurcation of Andhra Pradesh, it will be passed on to the president. Then the president will pass this on to the concerned state legislature, which is in this case Andhra Pradesh, and the Andhra Pradesh legislature will deliberate on the matter. Then they will come up with a resolution. Whether the resolution can either be in favor of the bill, or it will be against the bill. Obviously it won't be in favor of the bill, right? Obviously it's going to be against the bill. Now then it will be passed on to the president. Now comes the second point. The first very important point you should remember is previous recommendation or consent of president is must, and the second one is state legislature resolution or decision is not binding. Now, so it's obviously not binding. So president can give his own will to the Council of Ministers. Again, I need to clear you on the concept that president is just a rubber stamp. Like, see what Council of Ministers thinks the president will do, because it was article of the constitution itself which says that the president shall act on the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers. So obviously president will give a green signal, though whatever the president may think, he has to give the green signal. That is the situation of the president over there. Then the bill will be tabled on the parliament. Which house? Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. It can be tabled on any house. Then there will be a discussion at the same debate, discussion and deliberation will go on both the houses. Let it be Lok Sabha or let it be Rajya Sabha. There will be a resolution. It has to be passed by both the houses, but it should be passed separately. So what does it mean? There cannot be any joint sitting. What it is? See, if there was a discrepancy between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, both cannot do it like oh my god, there was a issue, there was a deadlock between both the houses. Let's convene a joint sitting where both the houses can sit and let's pass the matter. No, that's not possible in this case. In a bifurcation or in the using Article 3, joint sitting is not possible. No joint sitting. That's you should understand. So obviously it has to be passed separately by both the houses, then it will be sent to the president again. So president will obviously give his assent because he was already concerned, right? It was the previous recommendation of a president. Then it will become an act. That is, from now onwards, Andhra Pradesh will be split into Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Finally, it will grab the notification in a government gazette. So this is the entire procedure. So this procedure has to be followed. Then a state can be split or merged, or the union territory can be born, or the union territory can be merged with the neighboring state. Done. I made it everything clear. I guess I have made justice. Now let's go through the previous year question. Now it was 2017. The question is, with respect to the Parliament of India, consider the following statements. They are asking about a private member's bill. Is a bill presented by a MP who is not elected but only nominated. See, this statement is just to make you confused. As I said, who is private member? A private member is a member of a parliament, a member of a Lok Sabha, a member of a Rajya Sabha who is not a minister. He can either be elected or he can either be a nominated. So it's not the case. So a private member's bill is a bill by a private member. That's it. So this just to confuse you, this is a wrong statement. Now coming on to the second one. So the private member's bill has been passed in the parliament for the first time in the history. No. It was passed for more than 5 times, I guess. So this is also a wrong statement. But see, this statement is very good because they are asking about the statistics. So both are wrong and the answer is D. Now let's have some practice questions. The first question reads, consider the following statements. Just a minute. The first statement is, the statutory resolution can be introduced only by a minister. I clearly explained everything. Like, statutory resolution can be introduced both by a minister as well as by a private member. Obviously the statement is wrong. When one is wrong, I could safely eliminate option A. Now coming to the second statement, the government resolution can be introduced only by a minister. Yes, obviously the government resolution can be introduced only by a minister. See, what is government? Government is none other than a minister. So government resolution can only be introduced by a minister, not by a private member. This statement is right. So I can safely eliminate option C. Why? Because 2 is not there, right? Now government resolution is binding upon the government. Obviously no. That's why I said to you the example of Mr. Anna Hazare and Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. So this is a wrong statement. Obviously D is also going to be wrong because 3 is wrong. Now the only option left is B, and thereby, see, if options are very easy, like for example, if there was a 1 in here also, 1, 3, 1, 2 and 3, then if I clearly know that the first statement is wrong, I can safely eliminate 1, 3 C and D, then I can arrive at the option B without even seeing the statement number 3. But that may not be the case every time, but if at all there is a case, you should practice on this so that you can arrive at the answer in a jiffy. Now let's move on with the next question. I am very clear that all these 3 statements are very clear to you. If not, just go back to the particular concept and revisit the video, just see it once more, you will definitely get it. Now coming on to the second question. Consider the following statement. President can issue an order to admit into the Indian Union any territory as he thinks fit. See, you can approach this question in a 2 way. First, by knowing Article 2 very clearly, that Parliament by law can do this. These are the 2 keywords. Parliament by law can do this. President cannot do this. So you can safely say this is a wrong statement. Again, there is the other way around. As I said, President does not have the wide discretionary powers. That is, he cannot take his own decision. There is only one situation where he can do, that is when there was a hung assembly. That is, when no government can form a absolute majority, that is 50% plus 1 in a Lok Sabha, then he can do that. Other than that, President has no discretionary powers. Mark my words, very clear. So obviously President can issue as he thinks fit. So obviously this was a clue given to you so that you should also think in that way. So this is a wrong statement. Now coming on to the second statement. So since it is a 2 statement question, elimination may not work to that extent. It may not do wonders as it was in 3 statement and the 4 statement question. Now let's go through the second statement. As per Article 3, Parliament can increase or decrease any state or union territory and can even convert any state into union territory by simple majority. Okay, I'm sorry. While discussing the matters on the procedure, I failed to tell you that it has to get the permission from both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and it's just a simple majority. Remember this. They can be also a very, very potential question where they can confuse you by asking the special majority. No, that's not the case. If tomorrow Parliament wants to bifurcate any state or merge any state or come up with any new union territory by separating a part of a state, it can be done by a simple majority. Make this very clear. So this statement is absolutely right. So as per Article 3, Parliaments can increase or decrease any state, yes it can, or union territory, and even convert any state into union territory with simple majority, and this is the part used to convert Jammu and Kashmir into a union territory. Done. So this is a right statement and you have to choose the option B. Now that's it. So we just provided you 2 practice questions so that you can understand the tone and the pulse of UPSC, how the UPSC will relate it. See, it was Jammu and Kashmir matter. Everybody will be discussing more on Jammu and Kashmir matter, but UPSC will try to give you a question which just a part of a basics. For example, it is a resolution based question. Unless and until you are very clear with the different types of resolutions, you may not better perform in these questions. Again, I can also tell you, note the difference between the motion and resolution. It is also very potential. For example, it is a motion which will be discussed as same as a resolution, but it can either be voted upon or simply they can leave the matter with just a discussion. But in resolution, there will be a discussion, deliberation, everything, but it will be definitely voted upon. So it is a very, very important difference which you will also learn in a Laxmikant. If you are a very new candidate and if you are not aware of what books you should refer to the polity, I will also provide you a link in the description so that you can see that for polity, Laxmikant book is very good. You have to read that book very clear. Okay, so that's it. Okay, for the resolution has to be voted upon, and this statement and the difference was very clearly given in the Laxmikant also. You can refer to that. That's it. Okay, and now I can also tell you that the resolution is always a substantive motion type. There are several motions, as I said, and I cannot discuss on it because it will consume more time, but all resolutions are of just a substantive motion which can stand on its own leg. It has its own procedure, it has everything of its own. That's it. Okay, so I just made it like I also told you how to anticipate the question also. Now coming on to the geography of the Jammu and Kashmir. Now We just gave an introduction. What happened? So it was Union Home Minister who placed 2 resolutions and 2 bills, and 1 resolution is with respect to devolving all the powers to Jammu and Kashmir and full integrate Jammu and Kashmir with India, and the second one is to make it as inoperative, and there were 2 bills. One is with respect to reorganization and using Article 3. Okay, Article 3, Jammu and Kashmir was bifurcated into Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, and both were given as status of a union territory from being a state. How it is made possible? Using Article 3, and it just requires a simple majority which was passed in a parliament, and everything is done. And with respect to reservation, SCs and STs will be given reservation so that they can come out of their poverty in the future. So now let's now I just done with the introduction. Let's understand about the geography of the Jammu and Kashmir. Coming to the geography, why I should read geography? Because dude, prelims question do come from geography with respect to Jammu and Kashmir. Let's understand and have a grip regarding the geography of Jammu and Kashmir. Now, if you take, this was the entire Jammu and Kashmir from here, just a minute, from the full Jammu and Kashmir, but you could also see it mentioning POK because it was not with India. Pakistan occupied Kashmir and Pakistan occupied Kashmir, and this, the Pakistan claims to be a Azad Kashmir and the Pakistan claims to be a Gilgit Baltistan, but this both are the part of Indian territory. Even in the parliamentary meeting or in a parliamentary session, Union Home Minister said very clear that we will also get back these 2 part of the Jammu and Kashmir, and here it was Aksai Chin, and here it is called as the Chinese occupied Kashmir because it was under the control of the China. Let's not get into the politics. Let's understand this is the line called as line of control because here it was under the control of the Pakistan. From here only we have our own state Jammu and Kashmir, but these are under the control of the Pakistan. And coming to this is called as the line of actual control. So this was under the control of the China. So if at all there was tomorrow a very basic question that the line of actual control separates the Indian Kashmir with the Pakistan occupied Kashmir, that's a wrong statement because it was line of control, not line of actual control. Make this very clear. Now coming to, there can also be a geography question like Saksham Valley, which was with the Pakistan, right? It was ceded to China by Pakistan. Pakistan gave it as a gift to China, but it's ours. Pakistan is giving it to the China. That's okay, that's a different story. But always remember that the Saksham Valley is not contiguous with Aksai Chin. There can be a question also with these type of questions because it was what? It was Siachen Glacier, which we control on the upper level. Though Pakistan controls it on a lower level, we control the higher heights of the Siachen Glacier for a very reason that the who is having the control over the Siachen Glacier can have the eye over the neighbors like Pakistan and the China. If it was also controlled by Pakistan then or China, we will lose our own security with respect to Leh, Kargil and Kashmir Valley as well as with Jammu, because it is a very important point. That's why we use so much of resources and so much of manpower to guard this region, and unfortunately because of weather and because of glaciers melting, so many soldiers of ours are dying. It's a very sad story behind, but remember this point very clear that the Saksham Valley is not contiguous with Aksai Chin and there was a Siachen Glacier in between, and the upper heights of the Siachen Glacier is controlled by India. Now coming to the, and Siachen Glacier holds its own strategic importance because it can also point this in your mains exam because mains are nearing. Now coming to Kashmir Valley. So there was a Kashmir Valley and there was Jammu, and now the split has come here. So this part is one union territory and this part is the other union territory, which is consist of the Leh and the Kargil area. So and government is coming to come up with a great tourist part and many other ideas they have in their mind with respect to Ladakh, and they are also trying to fully integrate and make the Kashmiris feel that the Kashmiris are the part of Indians and they do form a very good brotherhood relationship. Let's see about the future, because at this point in time we cannot say how the people of Kashmir will take the matter up, and because everything goes on in a very quick manner, let's hope for the best. And it can also be a question like the Indus River passes through only Leh district of Jammu and Kashmir or only Leh district of India. Is it true? The river Indus passes through only Leh district of India. Yes, it is true, and it was the statement was also mentioned in the NCERT. Just go through the geography NCERT, where you will find under the drainage system, you will find that the Indus River passes only through the Leh district of India. And since Jammu and Kashmir was in news, the river based question can also come with respect to geography, and this is about the line of control, line of actual control. This is about the POK, which is of two parts, and Pakistan says this as a Gilgit Baltistan and Azad Kashmir, but we say this as our own country, as our own part, and this is Aksai Chin, and the line of actual control separates Aksai Chin and the Leh district and everything of that. And there was a Siachen glacier which is of very height, and we control the higher heights of the Siachen glacier because it's very strategically important, so that we can have our eye over our neighbors, because both of our neighbors who shoulder on us are nuclear power states. Now coming on to see what other practice questions do come. Consider the following countries with which the Jammu and Kashmir shares the border. See, this question is a very tricky question. Our experts have framed this question just to make you aware about the stand of India. If at all there is a question in your upcoming prelims regarding Jammu and Kashmir in the same passion, always remember the things which I say in this question. Consider the following countries with which Jammu and Kashmir shares the border: Afghanistan, China, and Tajikistan. Let's think a while. Jammu and Kashmir, on the west side, Pakistan. For sure, Pakistan is going to have its own border. Then, on the northern parts, there was a Afghanistan border on the POK, that is Gilgit-Baltistan region, and Afghanistan splits or blocks the Tajikistan's entry. So Tajikistan does not have a direct border with Jammu and Kashmir or with POK. Okay, then it was China on the eastern side. So obviously by this, if you understand the geography, very clear. If you see Jammu and Kashmir, and if you see Afghanistan comes and rests on the northern part on the POK Gilgit-Baltistan, but Tajikistan is above it, and it does not have a direct border with Jammu and Kashmir. So obviously you can safely eliminate option C. Thereby you can eliminate C and D, and our experts are always well profound to make the question harder. So they clearly want to know about your stand on Afghanistan, and you should always tick A. If you say only with respect to the Kashmir like this, then Afghanistan is here. So it was Gilgit-Baltistan. So it's not a part, then no, it's wrong. So government stand is to have till here. So it has the border with Afghanistan here. Here it is Tajikistan, which does not have the direct border, but it is Afghanistan, and we have direct border with Afghanistan. It is Pakistan, and it is China. So China in this place and Pakistan in this place, and here it is Afghanistan. Done. So I made it very clear. Now your option should be C. Sorry, your option should be A, and Afghanistan do share the part with Gilgit-Baltistan, and since we claim Gilgit-Baltistan as our integral part, we should also say that the Jammu and Kashmir shares border with Afghanistan. Okay, done. Now coming with the fourth one. Consider the following states with which the Jammu and Kashmir. You can also anticipate the question in these lines. So where there are 3 states given. When someone is not clear with the map of Jammu and Kashmir, and who thinks that Uttarakhand is also near to it, whether Uttarakhand touches it or not, no, that's wrong. You should, when you just visualize Jammu and Kashmir, you should also see what's below Jammu and Kashmir, what's above Jammu and Kashmir, what's east of it, what's west of it, what are the states sharing the boundary, what rivers passes through it, which wildlife sanctuaries it have, which national park is there, everything, because you are preparing for IAS. So you should have all the things ready made in your mind. So obviously Uttarakhand does not share border with Jammu and Kashmir, so you can safely eliminate C and D. Again, it's a tough question with respect to option. Coming to Himachal Pradesh, everybody knows that the Himachal Pradesh touches. Now you could have two options. And coming to Punjab, whether Jammu and Kashmir shares the border with Punjab. So there can be a question and there can be a doubt also, but answer is yes. There was a Pathankot district in Punjab and it was a border state with respect to Jammu and Kashmir and Punjab, and yes, Punjab shares the border with Jammu and Kashmir, and there were several river projects also going on in this area. Let's not get into it, but yes, Punjab shares border with Jammu and Kashmir. You could very well see here this part, and there is a Pathankot district also. It's a border state. And Himachal Pradesh obviously yes, and Uttarakhand obviously no, because Himachal Pradesh is here. So this is a thing you should understand, and the option is obviously A. So here it is also A, and here it is also A. Done. So this is all about the geography. Now let's continue with the history of Jammu and Kashmir.